What I'm going to show you is how to apply some mica powder in this area, in these areas, to really get a great effect with it. And it's an easy technique, but it comes out amazing. What I'm going to do with this first is give it a quick spray with a mold release. I will link a mold release in the description below. You don't need much. That should be enough. And I find that by giving it a spray with the mold release, not only does it help protect the mold, it also allows the mold to be demolded a lot quicker, prevents any bubbles sticking to the edges, but allows the actual mica powder to stick really well to the mold itself. I also want to use 3 colours. I'm going to be using black, white and a gold. The gold for the snake, but I don't want the skull to be a brilliant white. I want it to be a really quite a grey off-white. So what I'm doing is popping a bit of mica powder in there, which is the white mica powder, and then I'm going to pop a little bit of the black in there as well and give that a good stirring round, and that should give me a nice grey mica powder. You can do this with any of your colours. You can add any dark colour to a light colour and you'll get a different colour. It works really well. So look at the difference in that. Much better. And I like that grey. The first thing I'm going to do is paint my snake. And I'm going to be using a combination of my makeup brushes here and my micro brushes. And again, these are dirt cheap, these makeup brushes. They weren't expensive ones at all. Put some mica powder on my brush. Now, I'm quite messy at this, but I'm sure you can all be a lot neater than I am. And then I brush that onto that snake. And it can be a little bit fiddly, but it's quite nice and relaxing to do. And also what I find I do when I'm not recording is I listen to some music. Following the snake all the way around. You will absolutely love this when it's finished. It makes a great ornament. If you didn't want to fill the whole thing up with a grey mica powder, then all you need to do is put a clear one in, and you could probably pop some lights in it as well. There we go. Can you see that that's starting to cover that mould now on the inside where that snake is? So I'm going to go around and finish off the rest of the snake, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do for the rest of the mould. Well, I've got all my gold in there now, and I think that's in there. It's quite neat, which is unlike me, but also there will be some splatterings around. Now what I'm going to do, paint the eyes sockets with black mica, and that's these bits here. Now this will splatter over other bits because it always does, but if I shake it out then I should be fine. And I don't mind if there's a bit of black elsewhere, it'll just give it that little bit more of a Halloween-y look, I think. And then a bit where the nose is as well. Now if I want to go in and clean that up a little bit, I can. All I need to do is take a baby wipe and clean that up, and it does work really well to clean things up. I don't want to over clean it. And now I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to go in with a softer brush and just blend in any bits that maybe I don't want to rub out. And now I'm ready to fill that with resin. I'm using the J Diction ×3 UV resin here because I can confidently pour this into this mould in one pour. It's cold outside today, so the temperature of the room isn't going to cause this to flash cure. I've poured a little bit in, and then I'm going to tap it and get rid of some bubbles. Humongous thank you to all my members. It's really great to see you all there and engaging and enjoying and playing around in the groups, and also entering the competition. Amazon vouchers this month, people. Looking forward to seeing your entries. So pouring this now right up to the top, and once I get it to the top, then I'll burn a few bubbles off. And then once those bubbles are burnt off, I will then give it a little bit of a squidgy widgy and a tappy wappy as well to release any of the bubbles that are trapped inside. But because we've used a good mold release, that should prevent any of those bubbles sticking to those sides and make it easy to get out. Burn it off and then leave it to cure. Well, this is all cured up now, and it didn't take long to cure, so let's get it out of the mold. It shouldn't take much to get out of this mold because we sprayed it with mold release, and let's have a look at what we've got. Oh, I think that has come out really well. Look at the difference it makes with painting the mica powder on, and obviously that mica powder's there permanently because it's set into the resin, so that's not going to come off. I love the way the eyes have come out as well by using the dark mica powder, but we're not finished yet. I want to make a plinth for it, and the only way that I know to make a plinth, because I don't have a plinth mold or anything, is by using my longer 3D printer. And this is the LK5 Pro. It's really easy to set up, as you probably saw in my previous video. You might be wondering what this white stuff is on my printer bed. Well, that is just normal glue stick. And I put that on. I learned that if you put that on, your 3D mold or print sticks to this really, really easily without any problems and lifting up. And it's recommended by a lot of people. It just washes off when you want to replace it or clean it. I've used my longer 3D printer for lots of different things now. I use it so often, so much more than I thought I would use it. In fact, the other day, one of my pieces off my microphone broke. I didn't want to have to buy a new microphone. I searched it, couldn't find it. And I actually just found one and 3D printed it, and now I can use it. I've also printed out some things for my blind stepfather so that he can put them onto something and sign, and it keeps it in a box. I've done so many different things. There's so much you can do with this. It is one of the lowest priced ones, and I have no problems with it whatsoever. Look at the height that you can print at, and there are millions, I would say, of free files that you can use as well. If an idiot like me can use this machine, then anybody can use it, and it has so many possibilities. This comes with a touchpad, which is really simple to use, and it's very bright, and it's a godsend. And you can tell everything what's going on, how much time has elapsed, what the maximum height is, and your progress has got a progress bar there. I've already checked that my tip is the right distance from the bed, so I know that that's going to work. I'm going to make this plinth, then the plinth I'm going to use to sit this on top of. It also has a cutout as well. There's a lot of safety features on it, and I'm going to leave this printing. This print should take about 3 to 4 hours. I will link this 3D printer in the description below. I wouldn't be without it now. I absolutely love it. So you can see now it's starting to print. What it does is it prints, I've got it set so it prints like a base first, which gives it a little bit more stability, and then it'll just print the rest of it. I don't have to worry about it and do anything with it. Also, it has its own, Longer have their own slicer program, which is very basic, but it does exactly what I need it to do. Once I learn it a little bit more, then I would maybe go up to a more advanced slicer program. But if you want to just do what I'm doing, then it will run beautifully. And I'm no tech wizard by any means. I'm really, people who know me know I'm a bit tech phobic and I'm not very good with tech. And I have found this so easy to use right from the beginning. I know there's a lot of 3D printers out there, but there's very few at this price, if any, that have got this height and size of bed and work this easily straight from the box. Honestly, it's so easy. Well, this is finished now. It didn't take long. I think it was 4 hours to do this whole thing, and look how easy it comes off there. But it didn't move at all when I used it. I'm loving how this has come out and the details. All I need to do is take this little skirt off, and I will pull that off and then trim it up with a knife. And now I'm going to paint this and then show you how I'm going to attach the skull to this to finish it all off. And it's lovely and light as well. The base is all finished now. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. I think it looks great. They paint so easily as well. And I'm going to set this skull so it sits on it like that, which is why I changed the measurements of this before I printed it off, so it's sat on there like that. Now, my advice would be, whenever you're going to attach something like this, is just scrape away the paint on the bit that you're going to attach it to. There we go, like that. And that'll give the resin a lot firmer place to connect. And what I'm going to use for this is 5-minute epoxy. It's brilliant. It will glue that on there so quickly and really hard and permanently. I've got my epoxy mixed up there. It don't take long to mix up, but you need to use it fairly quickly because, as it says, it is a 5-minute epoxy. And now I'm going to put this on here. Now, the one that I use does dry clear, and it really does dry firm, and that bottle's lasted me a long time. And as you know, if you've been watching my videos, I use this an awful lot for things like this because it's brilliant. Resin sticks resin and plastic together amazingly. Put it on there. I want to make sure I get this in the right place where I want it. Yeah, I'm really happy with the placement of that. You get a couple of minutes to be able to move it around, and now I'll leave that to cure up, and it's nearly finished. Brilliant. Well, that's all finished now, all nice and hard. I'm absolutely loving it. It's a great size, it is great weight, but not too heavy, and I think it's come out brilliantly. The stand in materials has probably only cost me about £1.50, and the head in materials has probably cost me about £4. There is my time on top of that. If I was to sell this, I think I could sell it every day for about £55. So I think that would be a great profit. I think it's come out really well. What do you think in the description below? Let me know. I couldn't have done this without making the base. I think with just the head, you probably sell it for about £20. But I think having the two really sets it off. That's the beauty of being able to have the LK5 Pro, the longer 3D printer. And I have to say thank you to everyone that got me a coffee a couple of months ago who allowed me to buy that. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee to help me keep this channel going and make things like this, then the link for that is in the description below. Please boot that like button. It really helps my videos to get out there and makes me smile. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, because that way you won't miss out on any of my future projects. Be sure to check out the video that I've got coming up next. I think you'll love it, especially if you love quirky Halloween things as well. Take care, enjoy your resin, bye.